Hey, Walter here. Let's talk about a naked system that I didn't really talk about in the Naked Forex book. So before I forget, go to bigprofitscourse.com if you'd like to learn how we grow a small, tiny account, $1,000 account up to 100K. We're going to do that over the next 300 trades. You can follow along with us. Go to bigprofitscourse.com or click the link below or above this video, and you'll get information about that course. And I want to bring up the oil chart right now. This is West Texas crude. The most important points on this chart are going to be as follows, as I see it. And of course, I'm just looking at support and resistance and naked Forex patterns. So here's one, which is where the market found a floor there. And then, of course, where it touched right there. Okay, so I'll zoom in so you can see these. I know it's difficult to see sometimes on the recordings. So basically, here's the floor that was established in May. And it broke through. It made what's called a first touch trade right here in July. So the first time it came back up to this level that was the floor for so long became the ceiling. Didn't quite get there end of June, beginning of July. Actually hit there around the 11th, 12th of July. And then kangaroo tail was kind of your clue with this double touch. Fell down, and then guess what? We're up here again today. Now here's what's interesting about this. This is actually a gap move up. And one might argue that this market is actually in a huge, ginormous, as my kid would say, it's a ginormous box of consolidation. And so here's the floor right here, roughly around 53.56, and the top of it is up there around 60.55 or so. We had that first touch was in the box. And so now we're back up there. And so one way to see that, now you could also draw a box obviously down here. The reason why you draw boxes is to show that number one, the market's not trending, and number two, where you might find support and resistance trades. Now I would suggest that this potentially in the next 4.5 minutes or so could be a really good trade. Now typically what we see when the market gaps up, okay, or down, typically what we see is the market will fill this gap. Now it looks like this gap is going to print on the 6-hour chart here. Not only is it going to print, but most likely it'll close something like what it looks like right now. And so it'll have a long tail, a long wick here, a bearish body. So of course it closed here on Friday, opened up here, went this high, and then fell all the way down here, and this 6-hour candle is going to close in just a few minutes. So this is potentially a sell trade where I would target basically the high. You could go with the high of the last candle, but I kind of go with the highest high here, which would mean selling around 59.23 or so, 22, 59.22. And targeting down there at 55.67 or something like that. So about $3.56 on oil. Now the stop loss could go up here. Well, if we say 23, I could put my stop loss at 61.55, which would be outside the box. Now, typically you'll see these gaps will close within 48 hours. Oftentimes they close within 24, but 48 hours. And then if they don't close in 48 hours, often they'll close on Fridays. Obviously, you'll see them mostly on Mondays or Sundays, right when the market opens, of course. And you will occasionally, probably less than 2% of the time, see a gap that closes months and months later. And those are going to be stopped out in most cases, and it's just not going to work. But for those normal sort of gap trades, especially when the market's ranging like this, the gaps when the market's trending they're a little bit trickier because you kind of want to go with the trend rather than against it, and assume that the gap is going to set you up for a reversal. So that's the way that I like to trade these, and this is certainly one that looks like it potentially could close in the next couple of minutes. So there you have it. There's a gap trade. I wish you very happy trading. We'll see you in another video. If you like to trade gap trades and things like that with me, you can certainly do so by going to bigprofitstores.com, and I tell you everything about our course where we take a small account and we use aggressive risk management to ramp that bad boy up. $1,000, we're going to run that up to 100 grand over about 300 trades or so. So you can learn all about that at bigprofitscourse.com.